Bobby Schmidt. Ooh, baby. What's up, Schmac Talk? Welcome back to another episode. Been a minute. But we're getting into some big things, not necessarily college football wise, but more along the
But so
lines
much has
of
happened with college
that's
football since
true.
we talked. Have you realized that like in the last like 2 weeks, it's just been like NFL college news out of nowhere, and then it's combined with the just the mayhem of March Madness. I mean, if you're a
Yeah.
sports fan, this is the time of year or this is what you look forward to at this time of the year.
And if you're into hockey, I'm pretty sure I gotta make sure I got this right.
Hockey, hockey, hockey.
Hockey has been really good too. Actually start watching
NCAA
the
hockey just started their postseason. They're close to, I believe, their selection Sunday for the NCAA tournament, but they've been doing their conference tournament here lately.
All right, so do you know the thing with Alex Ovechkin? How it's like he's going on, I think it's like 20
It's been a
um
while. I know that.
or it's like 20th 20 goals in 19 consecutive seasons.
I feel like he should have more every year.
Oh, he definitely has more, but like consistently
That's
scoring
like the
more
bare
than 20.
minimum.
Well, it's like a short list of people who have been able to
Okay,
accomplish
okay.
that just because, hockey, very high intensity, you usually
Yeah.
you don't play for that long typically, I
Well,
feel.
no, when you really think
You
about it,
know,
what you're on the ice for like a minute
minute and
and
a
then you're
half
off
if that.
and then you're off for like what 10 and then back on. Like it is
Yeah.
up I guess it's not you're off for 10, but like you're only on the ice doing stuff for really 2 minutes at max
Yeah. It's
at a
I
time.
and when you take that into consideration and there being like no square really to score from, because I mean,
Yeah.
most of the goalies pretty much block the whole thing. I don't know. Hockey goals to me
It's
are
impressive.
so
It's so
impressive.
impressive.
Like it is crazy.
But
And then you get the guys that are like really good with the stick and like they'll be picking it up and like pulling it around the goal, pulling a Michigan on them. I'm like, what the dude? I
it's
can't even get the
ridiculous,
puck
man.
off the ground. All right. But yeah, that was one thing I would just want to point out. Hats off to Kobe, like dude,
He's stupid good, man. He's stupid good.
crazy. And for his age, dude, whole like I mean, he looks like he's like 50, but dude, he's only 38.
Well, I mean, he's grinding every day. That's the
I
thing, grinding
know.
every
Yeah,
day,
he's
every single year.
really putting in the
But
work.
you know what's gonna be crazy though is that it's we've started to see it with other sports. Can you imagine the day that him and Crosby are both done? Like what that means for our generation at that point? Like we are then moving into like those are dudes that we've been watching
Yeah,
since we were in middle school at this point.
yeah.
I mean,
Like,
think about that. I mean, we're now seeing it with the
oh,
NFL. I mean,
yeah, Tom
speaking of the
Brady.
NFL, listen, Tom Brady's gone, but I was just thinking right now, Aaron Donald just retired. Aaron Donald's been in the league for a decade. I mean, think about that. Put us
The fuck?
a decade ago, we were 17.
Yeah. Like that was like, oh my
We're
god,
still
dude.
in high school. We're
And that
juniors in high school. That's what's so crazy to think about is that we've seen this guy for a decade and we're seeing individuals like him and some other individuals just retire. Like, you said Tom Brady. I mean, Peyton Manning was like the first one. Then he had
yeah,
Eli. Then he had Tom. And it's just nuts to think about all the other guys who are soon going to be retiring as well. I mean, think baseball wise, I feel like the last big name for us was like Derek Jeter. Like that was oh my god, like these guys don't play forever. It was just that mind blowing when
yeah.
you're actually thinking about it.
They're like, what? They're
It's,
not
it-
invincible? What the
they can't play forever, but the video game says they
You
can.
can't.
I have a 30-year dynasty. Like
Like
we're
he's
speaking of dynasty college football. Can we touch on that? I
oh
mean,
yeah, I mean we might as
oh,
well. I mean,
where do you want to start? You want to start with the NFL mayhem that we got, and then go to college, and
oh
then because speaking of college, you go into March Madness. You guys are
yeah.
seeing this live.
Yeah, let's
Like, you
do it.
seeing how we
Yeah.
actually. Okay, so some NFL stuff that stuck out to me. Um, player wise, I know you had a few coaching moves that you really are hyped about. Uh,
Yeah.
um, but some player moves that I thought was interesting is Saquon Barkley leaving the Giants and
Yeah.
signing with the Eagles. All right.
What?
Tony Pollard. Yeah. Tony Pollard. And it's basically like all running backs. What do you think about like
Yeah.
the news? So
Okay. Have you? Okay. I don't. You. I think you noticed, but like this whole past week has been. Oh, this running back moved. This running back moved. It's
yes.
literally been all the
Yes.
running backs, and like I feel like this week, who knows?
We're
We'll
pretty
see
seeing
wide
it's like
receivers
it
start
is like
popping off.
well,
Like
okay, so we've already kind of seen that with the Chargers. The Chargers have released their top two receivers. One of them is now in Chicago, or they traded or whatever. They got rid of him. But Chicago now has the first overall pick, two of the best receivers in the game, but then also traded away Justin Fields in order to get a sixth round pick. And I assume that means
that
they're
was it.
drafting Caleb Williams. Would you agree? Like that's what they're doing?
Uh,
I mean, at this,
I mean,
why
at this point, I
why would
think that's
you?
the only plan. Like to me,
That's the only
that's
thing
the
that would
only
make
thing
sense at
that.
this point.
Yeah. Like
Would you do that?
no. Well, I
Okay,
mean, okay,
if you
okay,
were the
okay, okay,
Bears,
okay.
no, like
So,
that's fine
so in
because
my mind, I think this is a good play for Fields. But for the Bears, I've
oh yeah,
seen
he's
this
going to the
play.
Steelers. I didn't say that, but he's going to the Steelers for those
Yeah,
of you who don't know. All right, he's going to
I
the
think
Steelers.
that'll be a good move. But I think okay, I also was seeing on the Steelers end that it looks like it's gonna be like neither of the two quarterbacks they just picked up can are gonna be starters. They're basically gonna be backups.
Um,
Pick it.
what I saw on the ticker is what's being reported. Oh yeah, because speaking of the Steelers, they also went out and got Russell Wilson.
Yeah. Oh,
So what the report I saw was Justin Fields will not compete against Russell Wilson for the starting position, which tells me that Russell Wilson is a starting quarterback unless he fucks up. So if he
okay.
screws up, then I could see them playing Justin Fields. I think getting Justin Fields for a sixth round is a bargain, and it's more of let's have him sit for a year or two, recuperate, learn from his mistakes in Chicago, maybe
Recoup
build a
from
better
PTSD.
offensive line. Yeah, for real though. Maybe build a better offensive line before we throw him out there because their offensive
Yep.
line is getting old. They got some guys retiring. I think I think it's amazing for him, for
Yes.
Justin Fields. For
For
the
the Bears?
Bears,
What
I
the
think it's
fuck,
stupid. I'm
dude?
sorry. I think it's stupid, and I understand a bunch of people are like, "Oh, Caleb Williams is amazing." Caleb, okay, yeah, Caleb Williams is a very, very, very good quarterback. He does a
Yeah.
lot of things that I cannot do, and that's okay. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
All right, I promise you, I don't give a shit about that. What I do give a shit about is that this dude is one of the most pampered little SOBs we've ever seen in our sport. I'm sorry, him and his dad coming out saying, I better be part owner for the team that drafts me. Dude, get
Dude,
out of here.
stop.
I'm
That's just
sorry, but
ridiculous.
If I'm the Bears, they just had an amazing offseason. They signed some veteran defensive players, got some veteran offensive linemen. They just got
See,
Keenan
okay.
Allen in a
When
really
they
good
picked
trade.
up those offensive linemen, I was like, damn. And you trade away Justice.
Yes, like
I feel like, that was a lot of the struggle was he was just getting just
destroyed.
wrecked all the time, and that takes a toll on your mental and
And
your body. And so I could see like why some
all right,
things were
you ready for
happening.
this?
Yeah.
This is who so they got in the offseason so far. They got four offensive linemen. All right. Three DBs, two of whom were starters for a different team last year. All right. They got Keenan Allen was the big trade that they had with the Chargers. So a top wide receiver to pair with DJ Moore. They got DeAndre Swift, the Eagles running back from last year. They got him as a free agency to a 3-year deal. You're giving him weapons. And then also, you already have a good tight end core. What I don't understand is you could have drafted Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah.
with the first overall pick, and you're talking about three of the best wide receivers in the game is who
On the
he's
same
throwing
field.
to.
Yeah.
Like,
That would have been perfect.
why did you
Especially,
not do that?
yeah, see, I just so in my mind with the Bears decisions, I see a lot of that in the Browns front office,
I
but
think it's worse than the Browns, dude.
yeah.
It's getting to the point where it
um,
has been worse tthan the Browns.
I wouldn't say
The
worse than the
Browns have
Browns.
just the Browns have sustained it. That's the issue. The Browns did it
Okay,
for so many
yes,
years.
yes,
I would say by magnitude, the Bears are getting worse
yeah. I
because of
would,
how intense it is.
yeah. But hey, I will say them Swift jerseys gonna be flying off the shelf for the Bears fans.
And speaking of other running backs, because we kind of got off that the whole we mentioned Barkley. Tony
Uh,
Pollard left the Cowboys and is now with the Titans. Speaking of
yeah,
the Cowboys, they're starting in a linebacker retired after 6 years. So that's something to look at. Derrick Henry is no longer with the Titans. Speaking of the Titans, Derrick Henry is no longer with Tennessee. He's now with Baltimore.
yeah.
I think
I didn't see
Baltimore
that
is the
coming.
favorite to win at this point.
Yeah,
You have Lamar and Derrick Henry in the backfield, and I believe
that's
they have
just disgusting.
OBJ on the outside.
Yeah. Wait.
Like,
Yeah.
and if JK is healthy and they re-sign him, he's an amazing JK Dobbins, an amazing backup. I mean, this is insane. And then other running backs, who was it? Josh Jacobs left the Las Vegas Raiders and is now a Green Bay Packer. And speaking of the Packers, Aaron Jones left the Green Bay Packers and went to the Minnesota Vikings.
Okay. Why? You don't cross contaminate, brother. Come on.
Well, you know what? Brett Favre did it, so why can't Aaron Jones
Yeah.
do it?
Yeah. That
Uh,
is true. That is true.
oh, and I'm
Uh,
looking at this now. Sam Darnold is a Viking now. Like,
when did that happen?
dude, oh yeah. And speaking of the Vikings, Kirk Cousins is no longer with the Vikings, now an Atlanta Falcon on a 4-year deal. Dude, this is insane. Like the amount of just change. Oh yeah, and then we have the Saints. Sorry, Chase Young, our buddy Chase Young, now signed with the Saints on a 1-year deal. So that means the Saints have even more Buckeyes on
I
their
like
team
that.
at this
I like
point.
that.
Your boy Baker re-signed with the Buccaneers.
Okay, I think that's a good
Uh,
fit.
no, I
I
like
do
that.
like
I like
Baker
that.
with the Buccaneers because we couldn't adapt our offense for him, but hey,
Yeah.
um,
Desmond Ritter is now in Arizona as he was traded from the Falcons to the Cardinals.
hey,
Uh,
I just realized.
Jimmy Garoppolo is now on the Rams with Matthew Stafford because I forgot about that.
Yeah,
What did you
did see
realize?
that. So this is a long didn't notice for a hot minute, but Joe Flacco switched sides.
Oh, I forgot about Flacco. Like,
Like my boy, hey.
where'd he go again? He
um,
he went where? Like, did he go? No, Marcus Mariota is with the Commanders.
yeah, Mariota moved.
Austin Eckler. I forgot about that. The Chargers have completely got rid of all of their weapons because Austin Eckler is now with the Commanders. Sam Howell, who was the Commanders quarterback, is now with the Seahawks. Like,
Oh yeah, Flacco's still with the.
no, I thought I saw Flacco left. Gardner Minshew is now a Raider. Mason Rudolph is now a Tennessee Titan. I mean, like, oh yeah, Mac Jones got traded from the Patriots to the Jaguars. Yeah, Joe Flacco's a Colt. Joe Flacco signs a 1-year deal, 8.7 million, with 4.5 million guaranteed. He is an Indianapolis Colt. Like,
Oh, what the fuck?
and
Oh, and
and
then
that's what it was. The Browns got Jameis
Jacobs.
Winston. Your backup is Jameis Winston. Oh my god! But you also got Jerry Judy in a trade from the Broncos.
Another trucker. I don't want
Uh,
Winston. He was a
Nobody wants
dud. He
Winston.
was a dud for the Buccaneers. What makes anyone think he's gonna be any better? I mean, okay. Baker, not really even a
I'd
dud.
pick
And
Baker. I'd pick Baker over Jameis Winston.
oh, same. But okay, but Baker in Cleveland, I'd
Whoa,
say his career was pretty successful.
dude.
But now he's a Buccaneer, and it's I'd
Yeah,
say a little way more.
yeah.
Hey.
Um, remember Mike Gesicki? from Penn State, and he's been on like the
Yeah,
Dolphins forever, and then he was on the Patriots. He signed with the Bengals. That's great for them. I'm sorry that adds
that's a
some depth, some needed depth
Bengals about to
on
be
that team.
a sting.
Dude, like it's blowing my mind
They okay.
the amount of changes.
Why? Why?
Like,
Why? Why? I don't know. I'm just reading a thing about the Browns because now I'm a little fueled because I didn't know we picked up Winston, and I
I
guess
can tell you that.
we're running it with Deshaun. Like he's
Yeah,
gonna do
yep.
anything after his surgery. It's come
No,
on,
you're gonna
come
have
on.
JMO in there, dude. You're gonna have
Yeah,
JMO.
and then it's gonna be Dud City. Like,
Oh
might as well
man,
call Flacco back. Come on.
you're gonna have to trade for him now. You can't get
I
him off the
know.
couch.
Or okay, hear me out. Hear me out.
Oh,
We trade Deshaun and JMO for Flacco.
nobody wants that. Nobody wants that guaranteed
Hey, but you get
contract, and
depth.
nobody
You
wants
get
that.
depth.
No, you know that nobody in their right mind would take that guaranteed contract as well as that headache of Jameis Winston.
Yeah.
Could you imagine that combo? Oh man, we got to pay this, and we also got to deal with this like moron. Are you kidding me?
It's like, dude,
Now
come
again, I
on.
say that, and I'm throwing shade at them, and they got millions in the banks, and I don't, so they can just sit here and laugh at
Yeah,
me.
it's dude.
Again, they can throw the football much better than I can.
But hey, who knows? Maybe Vrabel's gonna come in there and be like, "Hey, we don't
Speaking
like
of
these
good
people.
news,
We don't
speaking
like
of
these
good
people. You
news,
guys need to clean up your act. Stop going
he
to
is
the
a
freaking massage
consultant.
parlors.
Yeah,
Stop being a fucking dad.
it, if you
Come
guys
on,
missed it, all right, our boy Mike Vrabel, who we've been advocating for what 2 years at this point to
my
be the
man.
Ohio State head coach,
Yeah,
he was not hired by
it's just a
any NFL
temporary.
team
It's just a
for the.
temporary spot. And
He's
then
not.
Ryan Day's contract goes up.
Yeah,
My
we'll
new
just lose
head
to
coach,
Michigan again. It's fine.
baby.
Um, but
Ryan
no,
Day
so
goes
my,
to Michigan.
dude, dude, I I would lose it. I would absolutely lose
I'd
it
be
if he
like,
did that.
yeah. And you guys wanted him longer than I wanted him.
But speaking, so if you guys didn't catch that in our mayhem of back and forth, Vrabel is now with the Browns as a consultant. All right.
Yeah.
Speaking of coaches,
Staffing
though,
and
you
personnel
you
consultant.
joking about Ryan Day going to Michigan? That actually happened with a assistant coach.
Yeah, the running backs coach.
Yes, Tony Alford, who had been with Ohio State since
Traitor.
2015, after two practices in spring ball, announced that he was leaving the university to go to the University of Michigan for the same position.
Not even an upgrade. I hope he's
Well,
making more money.
I think he was also running backs coach and running game coordinator. So basically, I think that's the whole like how Hartline is the passing game coordinator.
Oh, okay.
And so like they have passing game coordinator and running game coordinator. He also gets that. I'm not really sure what that means, other than what it makes me think is that he gets to choose what run plays to do.
Head of the running department.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? I know you text me some choice words.
Traitor. Traitor. Dirty traitor.
No, I believe your exact text was, "We had a snake in the grass this entire time."
It was. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. So I saw that pop up at work. It was just popped up on my like MSN feed or whatever, and I was like, all right, this is fake, right? No, not. So then I read into it, and it's like, oh, he's going to Michigan. Oh, hmm, interesting. A rival school. Okay.
no, it's not just a rival; it is
It's
the
the
rival, right?
rival.
Like
Yeah.
it wasn't even like, "Oh, you're leaving for Penn State," or "Oh, you're leaving for Wisconsin."
Yeah.
No, you're leaving for
Sure.
Michigan. You're leaving for the
Yeah.
bad guys. Is what you're
Yeah.
doing.
And so then I'm sitting there, I'm going, okay, so what does this mean for Ohio State? Okay. We got to change all of the plays. We got to
That's
change the whole
exactly what I
scheme
thought. All this
because,
scheme doesn't need to change. Signs need to
yeah,
change completely.
signs
All the
definitely need to
communication
change.
needs to
But
change. We
like,
just need the headsets at this point.
yes,
Just put the headsets in the helmet at this point.
because, oh, dude, you got a running back coach who basically is saying, hey, we're running this play. Hey, we're running this run play. All right. He knows all the signs for the opposing team. Who's to
He
say
knows
he's
the
not going to stick?
tendencies.
Oh, well, he
Like,
probably has the tendencies to a stat. He's probably like, oh, when Ryan Day does this, it means he's going for a pass the
well,
next three
it's
plays.
also it's more of okay, we're sacking the right side of the line, we're in 3rd and 2, we're probably gonna run this kind of run play.
Yeah,
So like the tendency, I mean, it just keeps coming with who we gotta be. So I'm not a fan of it. Um,
same.
like whatever, like you gotta do what you gotta do. If that's
Yeah,
best for your career, I wish nothing but the best. But this leaves us with a very interesting opening. And I don't know, I can't remember if I text you, but some of the names that came out for the opening position were Eddie George, who has declined it.
yeah.
So Eddie George is the head coach for Tennessee State, which is an
Okay.
HBCU university. Um, he is content with being his head coach there, but he said his running back coach, who I believe is Pepe Johnson or something like that. I can't remember. Apparently, he's a former Ohio State player. He's interested.
Ooh,
Mike Hart, the former Michigan running back coach, was thrown out. But remember, Mike Hart is a former Michigan Wolverine football player who started a fight with Ohio State before the game. So get him out of here. We don't want him. All right. The other
I'll
name
pass.
that
Thanks.
is interesting and is interviewing this week for the opening position is Oklahoma's running back coach by the name of DeMarco Murray. Do you remember that name by
Ah,
chance?
that sounds very familiar.
I like that. I mean,
I do
hey,
too.
like,
Honestly,
give me him.
if we couldn't,
Like,
I'd say that's my number one intent right there. If we
if
could
you
get
can't get Eddie George, you're taking
the
DeMarco
Michael
Murray.
Murray
I'm
for
sorry.
sure. Like, okay,
Like,
if since Eddie declined, Eddie would have been. I honestly would have never thought of it. I didn't even think he had any aspirations to like coach at Ohio State. But I mean, he
I
obviously
think he
declined.
does, but he doesn't.
Yeah,
Like,
like I feel like there's a lot of pressures that come with it being an alum, and especially with his track record of being a all-time Ohio State great,
yeah.
I feel like he would be more suitable for like a head coach position compared to like a
Yeah.
running back
Well, especially
coordinator
when he's a head coach.
coach. So
I could see him going from like Tennessee State to offensive coordinator.
yeah,
Um,
I could see a
but
jump like that, but
he's
like not all the
he's
way down
enjoying
to
what
when
he's
yeah,
doing.
you know, I
So I get it.
I got no complaints, that, but
Now,
that'd been cool
what
for
would be
sure.
interesting is can the lore of Ohio State get DeMarco Murray to leave his alma mater?
Probably not. Unless,
I don't
unless,
know,
unless,
man.
I mean, we did just
I
open a lot
don't
in the budget with getting rid of our special teams coordinator. So,
know.
hey, Ryan Day,
Oh, so much money to throw around now. That's how they're paying the players.
I
That's how we
hope,
got the
I
NIL
hope.
deals. Um, no, I would love DeMarco Murray. We'll see what happens. I'm trying to think. The only other crazy college football stuff that's going on right now is we got a teaser trailer for college football
No,
25.
no,
All right, what are you thinking about that?
buddy, I am ecstatic. Like,
I just think I need a date. I need a date so I know.
yes,
Okay,
yes,
pre-order that shit right
yes,
now.
because I'm sitting here like, like I feel like I just got blue balled. Like, they literally showed it to us, and then I'm like, dude, all the nostalgia just started rolling through me. I was like, oh, it's coming back. But with the
Uh,
current teams and all of that, I'm really excited to see what they do with their dynasty, and like Road to Glory.
yes,
I'm
yeah. So
very
what
interested
I've
with that and
heard,
how they incorporate NIL if that's going to be in there.
yes,
Because
yes. So
if
that's what I
that's
was gonna
in there,
say.
that's going to be game changer for me.
That's what I was gonna say
That's going to
is
be legit,
what
like,
what
dude.
I heard is that they're trying to build off of the previous dynasty, so not make it, like basically make it separate from Madden, how it used to be, where NCAA football was its own thing. The game was different than Madden. They don't
Yes,
want something
that's what
like
I
Madden.
loved about it.
And so what I heard is they're trying to make the dynasty build off of the concept that they had before the game went under and build NIL into it and build the transfer portal into it. So not
Ooh.
just have like if
So
you
you could
remember when
almost have a legacy like kind of style playthrough for Dynasty, and then you could also almost have like a new age style. dynasty where you have your NIL transfer portals and all that
So
stuff.
I believe it's going to be customized, and in addition to
Uh,
that, also the more ability to customize the conferences. So if you remember in the past in NCAA 14, yeah. So remember in NCAA 14, which we both had and we still both
yeah,
play,
yeah,
except I can't anymore because my Xbox died. But
yeah,
um, I know it's so sad. But with that, it was you could only get up to 16 teams in a
yeah.
conference. And now they know, well, we're looking at conference expansion.
We're looking
16
at
is
mega
like, uh,
conferences now.
well, and like, so 16 is like on the short end. So what they're saying, what I heard is that they're trying to make it where maybe you can get 20 teams in a conference. And so you have more flexibility with that. And you're going to be able to edit the playoff system. Yeah, because it's gonna remember this game's coming out the season that we go to
With
12-team
expansion,
playoff.
yeah.
So as far as I know, the default is going to be 12-team playoff. Dude, like
Dude,
I'm ready.
I'm okay. Once this comes out, you guys can just expect to have a bunch of gameplay from both of
I
us.
would I would love
As
suggestions on other than Ohio State, because obviously we're both
yeah,
gonna have our dynasties with Ohio State. Other than Ohio State, who could we play as? Because as far as I know, it's every single FBS team. And next year they're planning to have every single D1 team. So next year there's going to be FBS and FCS. So maybe you could take
ooh,
someone, someone like South Dakota State or North Dakota State and
bring
move
them
them
in,
from the FCS to the
dude.
FBS. All right.
Imagine the possibilities we could have with like just like okay, this is what would happen if this um like if this conference picked up these teams, got rid of these teams, what it would do to tournament
I know,
play.
right?
We could actually like
I
sim it.
know. I know. We can play different landscapes. Okay. Oh, Clemson and was it Clemson and Florida State? You want out of the ACC? All right, let's
All right,
put you in
bet.
the Big Ten and see
Let's
how
see how
you
you
play.
do.
Let's put you in the SEC, see how you play. Right? Like we can do all that stuff. So
Dude.
I am psyched about that. Also, there is rumors because I have a colleague at school, one of her former students who she is really good friends with. He is a football player at UConn,
Okay.
and UConn released a post last week promoting college football 25,
All that.
and it was a UConn specific cover with this player on it. And I was enlightened through this colleague who had talked to her former student about the situation. If you guys don't know, I already knew this part where every player gets $600. If they want to be part of the game, they get $600 and a free copy of the game. They are adding on to that where if they don't have a gaming system, they're going to get a gaming system with it. So they pick which one they want. Um, but also, apparently, each school gets to select 5 cover athletes to
So you
send to
could get
EA.
a cover
That's it.
for
I don't
each
know.
school. Whoa!
I
Let's
know.
go.
If that's the case, I'm pre-ordering Ohio State like no other. Like, please
I'm
give
gonna
us
have
that
5
option.
copies. Okay, maybe more. Okay. You don't have to judge me for it.
Also, if you are Ohio State fans, if you go to Ohio State football's official social media account, they have a custom cover that they already posted, which features Chase Young, CJ Stroud, Ezekiel Elliott, Justin Fields, and Emeka Ibuka. Or no, I believe, sorry, that is Chris Olave wearing the number 2. So if you want that custom cover, you can just download that picture and print it off and slide it into your cover. But I'm really hoping, based on that information I was given, that it is true and we're going to be able to select which team we want on our cover.
Yeah, that would be okay, because I'm probably gonna get the downloadable version, you know.
Loser.
But this is kind of making me want to get like a copy, but I play PC, so it's like, I'd have to get a like a PlayStation version or something,
You'd have to get a
or and then
PS5.
get a PS5 too. So, oh,
But yeah, apparently the rumbling is that you could potentially be able to get your team's cover. I think that'd be awesome.
that'd be sweet. I
I don't care what if you make me pay 10, 15 more bucks. I'm getting an Ohio State
yeah.
cover.
Oh yeah. Dude,
Like
I wonder if they'll make it available for like the downloadable version to where you can like change the
it like
cover,
loads up with that.
or like it'll alternate between the different ones. That
Be
would be
nice.
sweet.
Yeah. No, dude. And speaking of college and mayhem and what has our blood pumping, March Madness actually starts
Get in the swing of
tonight.
things. Yeah.
Okay. Unfortunately, our Ohio State men's did not make it into the NCAA tournament.
Freaking
However, I
Illinois.
am still repping them because they are in the NIT and they play tonight at 7. So you bet your ass I'll be watching that game. Hopefully, they can win the NIT, have the season go out on a high note. You know,
Yeah, I mean, considering their coach left midway through, right?
no, he got fired
Oh yeah.
and just leave.
Yeah.
He got fired.
Got fired. Okay.
But they announced that the interim head coach will take over moving forward. He has a 5-year deal, so that's exciting. I
Oh
think it'll be
man, there
awesome.
we go.
Speaking of women's basketball, the Ohio State women's team is a 2 seed and has a legitimate shot.
I
So
think they're my favorites, but I'm not gonna gonna get my hopes too high for them because
yeah, well,
UConn.
yeah. I mean, looking at that briefly, we can run through the women's real quick. Looking at speaking of Ohio State, they're the 2 seed in uh, Southern California, USC's region. So they're in the Portland 3, so out west. If they win and get through that first weekend, which they host that first weekend, so if they win against Maine, they would probably play Duke on a Sunday. And if they get through that first round, they're likely playing UConn. So
Yeah.
yes, it would be tough. And then you're looking at a very good Virginia Tech or USC team that's likely coming out. But it is a very likely possibility they could make a run. Now the
Yeah.
issue is they would very likely meet in the Final Four Iowa.
Another
So
hot team.
and then if you beat Iowa or whoever comes out of that region, you're probably looking at South Carolina
Another hot team.
in the national
So
championship.
yeah, that
So
I think it'll definitely be a grind for them.
I think they can do it. Should I lock
It's
in my
possible
picks?
you should. I mean,
I mean, why
I
not?
yeah, uh women's basketball. I know UConn.
Well, UConn's a 3 seed, so clearly you don't know UConn very good this year. First
Uh,
time they've been lower than a 2 seed since
see, I mean, but
2005.
still, like
It's
UConn
the first
tournament
time in
play
like 20
though,
years.
crispy.
Yeah.
And it
No,
don't
it'll be
change,
interesting.
But
It'll be
yeah,
interesting.
that'll be
But
something to definitely keep your eyes on. You
yeah,
know,
looking at the men's though, um,
it's Braga was
how how do you
crazy.
feel about this? I feel like the conference tournaments kind of gave us a bunch of upsets leading into this. Do you think we still see upsets coming?
Yeah, I think for sure we're gonna see some upsets coming. Honestly, for me, I was surprised with how the tournaments played out. Granted, I didn't watch a whole lot of them. Holy crap, that scared the shit out of me. Hey, no. Um, but yeah, what was I talking about? Sorry, my
The
heart's
conference
palpitating.
tournaments. Didn't watch a
But yeah,
lot, but there was a lot of upsets.
yeah, especially with everything happens kind of over a weekend. You kind of everything kind of all happens at once. I was mainly focusing Big Ten. Just because
Yeah.
gotta follow them
Ohio State,
Buckeyes.
Ohio State was making a run, man.
Yeah, I watched the Illinois game and oh,
BS,
buddy,
absolute
bullshit
BS.
calls. Um, you know, but
I
hey, they
I
kept
have
it
not
within what, a
seen.
point, a 3 point, three
It
point
was a
game.
close game. I think it was 3. I mean, I have not seen a team get screwed over. The amount that they got screwed over that game. I mean,
Those
I
calls
I will
were
fully admit I
ass.
reverted back to yelling at the TV where Jordan had to tell me to stop because it was
Yeah,
getting so bad. Like I was so frustrated watching that game, and I hate saying like, "Oh, it's the refs." Like they
dude,
skewed the
those
outcome of
calls,
that game.
bro, were
So
ridiculous. Like that was the one game I watched, and I was like, "This is really good."
it
I'm
was
sitting
rough. It
there.
was a good game. It
It was
was. It was a very
great.
good game. It was
Close,
a good
and
game to
then
watch.
even the final shot thrown up at the end was a close one. You know?
Speaking
but
of Illinois, do you think they make a run? If you had to pick your Final Four, I know we're jumping through a bunch of games
I
because this first
think
weekend is the best because there's so many games. If you had to pick a Final Four, a national championship, and a national champion, who you going with?
I definitely want to see Illinois.
Dang. Okay, so you
Like
got Illinois coming out of
I
the
think they might
East.
have a chance coming from the East. Um, who all is in the West?
Oh
I
man, not even doing your homework.
I know.
Oh Lord, the West is North
Oh,
Carolina.
well, you
North Carolina's
see.
the one. Arizona's the two. Alabama's the four. Baylor's the three. You got Dayton in there at a seven. College of Charleston at a 13.
All right, so
Michigan State at a nine.
so coming from the East, we got the boys, Illinois, coming through.
Okay.
West, oh, I kind of want to go to St. Mary. Low key.
What?
Low key.
I'm
Okay,
all for it. You want to go to St. Mary's?
I'll
Go
say
to
it's
St.
gonna
Mary's.
come down St. Mary's or UNC.
Okay.
I don't really. I mean, Baylor. Oh, Baylor would give up. All right, Baylor UNC. St. Mary's will make it final Sweet 16, and then probably lose. You know.
Okay.
Midwest. Purdue. That's
Pardon.
an easy. Yeah. What?
Pardon.
What do you mean Purdue? They're coming in as a number one seed in the Midwest. You know, out
We've seen
of
this
the other
time
teams
and
there.
time again.
See,
We,
I I
every
think okay,
year we say it's Purdue's
actually,
year.
actually,
Okay. I'm listening.
Tennessee.
Oh.
I think Tennessee might have a better chance if we're going based on our previous history with Purdue. But it's Purdue's year. All right, they're always make it to the tournament. I feel like they got to. You know,
So you want to lock in
Boilermakers.
Purdue boiler up?
I'm locking in Purdue.
All
I
right.
think the only competition they're gonna have in there. Oh, cancer.
Yeah.
Ugh. Just kidding.
Or Gonzaga, dude.
Actually, okay, okay. I'm more upset with Gonzaga. Okay, because I always say Gonzaga. It's this. It's they're gonna make
I
it.
always root against them.
I'm
I
always a
hate them.
Gonzaga guy, but
You also got Creighton, dude.
uh, I'm
Look
not.
at
I don't think
look.
Creighton's gonna pull through.
Okay, but look at Purdue's potential matchups. TCU, that's a
Okay,
pretty good team. Gonzaga
okay.
or Kansas. Oh, and then if they get through that, you're looking at Creighton, Texas, or Tennessee. Like,
Hey, gotta
oh,
happen, right?
I'm sorry. Or potentially Virginia if Virginia goes on a run.
Virginia's
Okay, so look at Texas, Tennessee, or Creighton.
Virginia
Like,
goes on a run.
no, watch St. Peter's is going to go on another improbable run.
St. Mary's pulls through.
That'd be kind of cool. I'd be okay with that.
I would be all for St.
I'd
Mary's
be okay
pulling
with
through,
that. Or
but
Dayton. Dude, Dayton goes on a
yeah,
run. That'd be pretty cool.
yeah, I'd be all right
Maybe
with the Flyers
maybe
flying high.
Akron. Oh. Hold on. I'm not gonna say Akron's going on. Hold on. You're just pissy because they beat your Golden Flashes. All right, bud. All right.
I won. I'm a
Okay.
man.
A win's a win, and a loss is
Mister.
a loss.
Mister.
Last time I checked, Akron's in the tournament and Kent State isn't.
See,
There's nothing to see.
yeah, I got nothing. I got
What
nothing.
I was gonna say is, what if Akron upsets Creighton? That'd be pretty cool.
I'd be down for that because I don't think Akron will pull through.
Oh,
So that
yeah, then they
would
got South
make
Carolina,
Purdue's chances a
Oregon.
lot easier. So
Not
but
really, because they still have Tennessee. Like,
hey, it just takes out one option. All right.
yeah, it takes out one option, but it's not the best option. So like,
Hey, and we've seen in the past what I mean every year since we've really followed March Madness.
something's gonna
It's never
happen.
what you expect. Some bullshit
No,
happens, and it's like, oh, Kansas loses to a buzzer beater or some bullshit fouls or something wild.
yeah, it's gonna be
There's
mayhem.
always something. And if it doesn't happen in the first week, then or not first week, first set of games, second set of games, madness. There's
Yeah,
somewhere the can is going to get open. I just think it's going to start early this year, and we're going to see some big teams fall
I would love to see that.
early,
I would love to see that.
and then we're going to see some underdogs follow through and a dub.
So again, who do you have Purdue playing in the Final Four? Since you have filibustered this entire thing.
I know, yeah. But I think I got the cats. Cats
C
from the South, baby.
CATS cats cats
UK.
cats.
Cats.
So I just want to make sure I understand. You got you. Oh no, sorry, Illinois playing
Illinois.
playing North Carolina.
Yep.
All right, and then you
North
have
Carolina's gonna beat
then you have
Illinois, I think.
okay, so you got UNC in the championship game, and then you got
Yep.
UK and Purdue.
Purdue. Where UK pulls through and UK wins. Wins it all. Cats.
Well, this is very anticlimactic.
Fine. Is that who you got?
I literally made a bracket last night, and I have UK beating North Carolina. Uh, so I've gone back and forth with I think I changed it. I ended up saying Illinois beating UConn just because Illinois is red hot right now. And
Yeah.
UConn, I mean, UConn's hot too. They're one of the only one seeds from their conference to win their conference tournament. Um, but I think it's just going to be that pressure of trying to go back to back that's going to catch up to them.
Yeah.
So I think Illinois is going to come out of the East, and then North Carolina, I think, is going to come out of the West. Um, the Midwest, I had Tennessee. I had
Purdue.
Tennessee. No, I had Kansas beating Purdue, and I had Tennessee
Oh, okay.
beating
Okay.
Kansas, and then I had UK jockeying. I actually had Wisconsin upsetting Houston, and UK beating
Ooh.
Wisconsin to get to the Final Four,
Okay.
with UK playing North Carolina. Um, I don't know why, but like I've watched a decent amount of UK games this year. I mean, I know why I've watched those games. Um, but I I really think they got a shot, dude. Like they're a 3 seed, but I mean, if they're shooting it, they're lights out. They are one of the best
I
teams
mean,
in the nation. It's kind of ridiculous how good they can be.
okay, you look in their bracket there. They really only have to worry about Marquette, Florida, possibly.
Well, that's the thing. Like
Um,
Florida, you've already beaten
so I
Florida.
mean,
NC
they're
State's
kind of
hot.
set there.
NC State's
Yeah,
hot because
that
they
is
just won the
true.
ACC. You got Duke, but Duke's kind of stumbling. Wisconsin's hot,
Yeah.
so you got to watch out for Wisconsin. I don't think Houston's a real
See,
threat. I'm going to be honest because they just lost by
I
20
don't think so.
in their conference
Yeah.
championship game. So yeah, they're going to
See,
be pissed off. But if they win that first weekend, all right, they beat Longwood, they probably beat Nebraska, and then you're looking at they
ooh,
got.
you got Nebraska over A&M?
Oh yeah, I do.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
But I mean, if Houston comes out of that first weekend, you're looking at a matchup with Duke or Wisconsin. I don't think Houston
Yeah.
comes out of that. I really don't. I
Yeah.
don't think they come out of the Sweet 16. I think you're
And
looking
then
at a pretty nice road for UK.
yeah, I think and then you gotta think Wisconsin or Duke's gonna battle it out, you know.
Yeah.
And after that game, they're gonna be fucking beat tired.
Yeah, like I
And
it'll be good. It'll
going
be
into that
good
next
though.
game,
There's going to be some good
yeah,
games.
I'm actually starting to get excited for it.
Who's your biggest upset? Let's close it on this. Who's your
Ah,
biggest upset?
biggest
And then we can
upset.
get ready for the games.
Oh, okay. Um, I think I'm gonna have to go. There's not really any like big ones that are standing out. I feel like rank wise, I could see maybe St. Peter's upsetting Tennessee.
Dude, that'd be crazy.
I think that's the best chance we're gonna see, except maybe like honestly, maybe even Longwood upsetting Houston.
Dude, I'd lose it. I would
I
lose it if that
I feel like
happened.
there's always a big upset when it comes to like a 1 or 2 seed losing to,
Lately, yeah, every
you
year.
know, there's always
Uh,
some kind of crazy upset. So I gotta go with the outliers there because I mean those tight games where it's like a 5 seed and a 12 seed. I mean, I can see Gonzaga losing.
to make
I
the
mean,
niece.
not very possible. I think if anything plays out, but like who knows? Like those are the ones where I think it's definitely more likely. But I think the big outliers are definitely those two seeds and 1 seeds going out early.
All right. I'm gonna
What
lock
about you?
in. I'm gonna lock in Charleston, College Charleston, over the Crimson Tide
Oh,
of Alabama. All right, don't mess with me. In my bracket, I got them beating Alabama in St. Mary's and then losing to UNC. All right. Um, Here's what I'll say. I got a pull for the hometown Cougs. All right, the Cougars at College
the
Charleston.
Cougs.
Um, but also Alabama scores a lot, and they also let up a
Yeah.
lot. All right, I saw something of the Power Five teams. They are the worst ranked defense. All right, so they have a
But hey, they
terrible
score
defense.
like crazy
They are the
though.
highest ranked scoring offense, but one of the worst defenses in the nation. You combine that with a hungry, veteran, talented College Charleston team who is taking care of business time after time again this year. All they got to do is get some confidence. If they're tight at the end of the first half, watch out. Crimson Tide is going to fall.
Okay,
All right.
okay.
That's
Didn't
what I'm
expect
locking
that
in.
one.
Let's go.
All right, all right. I mean, hey, I'll take your word for it.
That's about all I
We'll
know.
see
I
what
don't really
happens.
watch basketball that much. All right.
Yeah, same. I don't know. I feel like I only because like okay, I don't know if you have the same feeling, but the whole like regular season, I guess, is like
Doesn't matter anymore.
preseason.
Doesn't matter anymore.
Preseason.
Here's why I say it doesn't
Uh,
matter. All right.
They're all exhibition games.
This is why it doesn't matter. You got freaking Michigan State as a 9 seed who lost to Ohio State, has a worse record than Ohio State, has less quality wins than Ohio State, and they were a lock to get into the tournament. But yet Ohio State wasn't. All right, I'm
State was
done.
out. Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Doesn't matter
I
anymore.
feel like
Doesn't matter.
it really doesn't.
Ohio State beat Bama at Bama. They beat San Diego State. They have quality wins. They beat
I
Purdue.
feel like they might have taken into factor that oh shit, our coach was fired
No, I
mid-season.
think that's
That
exactly
might
what
have been a
happened. That's
factor.
exactly what happened, dude. And at the time, it was an interim coach. So now they're playing Cornell tonight, the Cornell Big Red, in a
Big Red.
NIT tournament. They get to host. So that will be fun. But yeah, no, it doesn't matter anymore. All right. Oh yeah, lost a close game to A&M. All right. So they lost that game. Beat Alabama by 11. Let me see their other nine. Beat UCLA. Beat West Virginia. Where else? They beat Michigan State. They beat Purdue. I mean, dude, like I don't know what else to say. And then they lost it by 3 to Illinois. Like
Yeah.
it's a quality resume right there. But you want to look at Michigan State, they I just sorry. Just lost to Duke.
They should have been in.
Like they lost to Duke, lost to Arizona, lost to Wisconsin, lost to Nebraska. Oh, they beat Baylor though. They beat Baylor by like 20 something. So props to them on that. Lost to
Might have been a
Northwestern,
factor too.
lost to Illinois.
Yeah, Baylor's a
Well,
three
they got
seed.
swept by Wisconsin. Lost to Minnesota. I mean, Ohio State also lost to Minnesota, so I can't I pull. But they beat Illinois, so I give them that.
But then lost
But
to
they
Illinois.
lost to Iowa,
Or
lost to Purdue, lost to Ohio State, lost to Indiana, and then lost to Purdue again. Like I don't know, man. I
I
don't
feel like
freaking
anymore
know.
it's just turned into like kind of a popularity contest
It's
between
the whole
hey,
name. It's like
who's
what we say with football. Oh, if Alabama has less than 2 losses, they're guaranteed in. But now it's not that case anymore because you don't got Nick Saban.
yeah.
So once Tom Izzo leaves Michigan State's going to be in for a rude awakening. All right,
Oh
he
yeah,
is the reason they're in this tournament right now. I'm sorry. That is.
Coach.
Hmm,
Okay, if we're being honest, I think Coach Izzo is the last standing like OG head basketball coach. Like I feel at least in the Big Ten.
Michigan State had one more win in conference play than Ohio State. One more. But their
Hey,
overall
wins a win, right?
record, they had, yeah. I mean, shit. I I give up. I give up trying to understand.
Yeah,
Fuck
I
Sparty.
honestly,
Fuck them. The whole state can just screw themselves.
I will say the only thing I like about Michigan State is oh
Is what?
Izzo.
Oh, I don't like Izzo. Tom.
See, I feel like
I respect him. I don't like him. I respect him.
once Mata left Ohio State, it was like okay, let's play Coach Toss around for a minute. So then I was like, all right, no real team was like prevalent for Ohio State at the time. So it was like, all right, Michigan State. I kind of hopped on a bandwagon for not gonna lie. I was bad, man.
You're in a
I was real
bad
bad.
place. You're in a tough place emotionally.
But dude, Izzo is like, I don't know. I view him as almost like a Saban of college basketball.
Yeah, I mean, now that Coach K is gone,
Yeah.
but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. If you like
Which
basketball, or
K
if you
got
just if you just like madness. What I just thought about college bat. Sorry. Um, hopefully you guys like college sports in general. You buy the college football game because if college football does well, that video game, college basketball might come back. All right, and I need some of
that
that
big
action.
ass, dude.
All right, so if you like March Madness, tune into that. That actually starts tonight, the 19th. Okay, so obviously it will have started by the time this comes out. Hopefully, there's some mayhem. Thursday and Friday is when the real fun begins because Tuesday and Wednesday is just the play-in games. Um, I would like to see a 15 or 16 seed knock it off. So hopefully
I think it'd be
something
sweet.
happens. Hopefully we got something to talk to you guys about, and hopefully we also have our own tournaments coming your way, our own brackets, if you will.
Oh,
All right, a little teaser for you. All right, stay
yeah.
tuned and find out.
Eh, Yeah, they'll be honestly, I'm very excited about what we got coming your way. It'll probably come out after all of March Madness
Well, yeah,
occurs.
we don't want to
You know,
we
we
don't
don't
want to
want to,
take away from March
yeah,
Madness. So like,
it's March Madness. Only happens so often,
once
once a
once a
year.
year,
Yeah.
the sacred time, if you
Where,
will.
our other stuff, it's gonna be pretty dank. So stay tuned. So I think that's all we got for this episode. Go Bucks. Beat Cornell tonight.
And hopefully the
And
ladies win later in the week. Peace out, Girl Scouts.
peace, guys.
per dome. per dome. per